Fox News alert right now. Just moments ago, the terminally ill child known as baby Joseph arrived home in Canada. The 15-month-old returning after receiving a tracheotomy in St. Louis last month. Joseph's parents transferred him to the United States after a government-run panel in Canada ordered him to be taken off life support, saying there was nothing more doctors could do to help him. Joining me now is the National Director of Priests for Life, Father Frank Pavone. He was the one who coordinated Joseph's treatment in the United States. Good morning to you, Father.
Good morning, Gretchen.
This must be a bittersweet day because baby Joseph, on the good side of things, is back home with his parents in Canada. The bittersweet part about it is that he's still going to pass away at some point. He has a terminal disease. But why was it so important for you to fight for this move?
Well, as you said, some people said it's not worth to treat this baby because he's going to die anyway. And we said, well, aren't we all? And the point is that we knew when he was in Canada from the statistics on his breathing machine that he was already mostly breathing on his own. So the idea of giving him a tracheotomy, make him more comfortable, give him a more secure breathing passageway was not extraordinary treatment. It was something that had a very, very high probability of success, and yet this family ran into a dead end. So this was a great team effort. A lot of people pressured the hospital up there. We had our Priests for Life alerts going out across the country to say to people, look at this situation. And these parents fought hard for their child. And this is all they wanted, to be able to bring him home, care for him for as much time as God gives them together.
Exactly. And after interviewing the father a few weeks ago, it was so painful because it seemed as if, even though he was the father of this child, he had no rights. The government-run panel in Canada was basically telling him what they were going to do to his child.
Precisely. They were trying to impose on this family their interpretation of the value and meaning of this child's life. And that's the critical issue. There are such things as worthless treatments. There's no such thing as a worthless life. And this case should help families to stand up, fight hard, and realize that the doctors are not the ones that make the ultimate decisions, and they're certainly not the ones that interpret for us the value and meaning of life.
I know that Priests for Life, your organization, covered baby Joseph's medical expenses. You've also set up a fund for that purpose. But let me ask you this, Father. Was it difficult for you to find a hospital in the United States that would do this tracheotomy procedure for him?
Well, initially we were getting a lot of nibbles, but they would back out at the last minute, I think because they're afraid of controversy. But ultimately, no, it could have been a whole lot more difficult, but we did, it took just a couple of weeks to find someone who stepped up to the plate, which of course was Cardinal Glennon Hospital in St. Louis, and they've done a tremendous job, and I think they and many other people and this family as well are ready to engage in future battles, and I would encourage everyone who did help in this case to stay engaged in the pro-life effort because we have more victories to win.
I know you've been in touch with this family so consistently, and I know that his father, baby Joseph's father, traveled with him this morning back to Canada. Can you speak for the family and tell us what they're thinking right now to have their child home?
I can tell you exactly what they would say. They say, we feel like we have been released from prison. When I was on the plane with the baby's father taking him to the U.S., he was pinching himself, literally. He said, it's like I'm dreaming. I can't believe it. And, of course, today's outcome is better than we even expected because the baby right now has no tubes, no machines, breathing completely on his own. It really is a joyful day, and what a great way to celebrate Easter.
Very well put. Father Frank Pavone, the National Director of Priests for Life. Thank you so much for being our guest.
Thank you, Gretchen.